Welcome back to Technically Speaking. We're now at the drawing boards of Emily Zellman and Zach McCullum. And the drawing board's a little bit different than what we may have experienced years ago. Not only do we have the T-square and some of those things, but we got a pretty powerful computer. And Zach, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the software you're using and what you're going to demonstrate for us.
We're using SolidWorks, and I'm going to demonstrate how I made this model car, how it came to be. First, I started out by designing the body of this car. I'm not going to actually do it because it took me a couple weeks to do. So I'm just going to show you some of the pieces that I used to produce this car. First, I have the body, and I'll just spin that around for you. But this is an 81 Grand Prix. I did this pretty much from pictures, and then I went on Wikipedia and got like the wheelbase and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, sure.
So I could get roughly the right measurements.
And so this is actually drawn to scale then, right?
Yes.
What's the scale you use?
This car is roughly a 24th scale.
Oh, okay.
So it's your typical model size for the most part.
Okay.
After I did that, I continued the frame for the car so that I could then mount the wheels. And I also just threw the exhaust in there just to kind of make it look cool.
Okay,
but as you can see, I actually have the leaf springs in there. And the original design had independent front suspension and everything, but when I printed it out, that broke, so I had to redesign it.
Okay. Now, did you have to do a lot of research to make sure the dimensions and all of those kind of things?
Not so much as just kind of eyeball it and put it up to a picture and just compare it, make sure it looked right. I mean,
but if you were actually designing an automobile,
you would be right on, and plus you wouldn't be copying something that's already been done.
Sure.
So,
there you go.
But then to make it look more complete, because I am sending this into MITES this year.
Oh, okay.
Entering this in the plastic models competition they have there. I designed the interior for it also. I even put the gauge cluster in there. And I put like a racing style seat, center console. And then I had to, of course, make some wheels. So I did your traditional 5-spoke, and these only took me like 5 minutes to do, which was nice. This was the easiest part of the whole car to make. And then in the end, you put it all together and you come out with a model like this, and then you send all these individual parts to our 3D printer that we have, which is it creates a model out of plastic.
Okay.
And then you actually end up with something like this car. And I put this together piece by piece. I had to take it to the auto body shop to paint it and everything like that. But
well, you're also telling me before we started this segment a couple of extra things you had to do to make this car even smooth. Tell us about that.
I had to sand and Bondo the entire body because it had like a ripple effect. Like, I don't know if you can see the dash, but it's kind of rippled. This whole body of this car was like that, so I had to work in the shop for like 3 weeks to get it smooth and painted.
Who would have thought you'd have to Bondo a model?
I know, a plastic one at that.
So wow, so that's pretty good. Have you designed anything just on your own using this software without looking at pictures or a model of something?
I've done, well, last year's model that I sent into MITES was I tried to redesign my own car. I have a Jimmy, and I tried to redesign that, and it turned out kind of boxy and stuff. So it's easier when you have pictures, that's for sure.
Easier said than done, huh?
Yeah.
Well, great. So, I mean, obviously this gives you a pretty good idea of what actual automotive engineers do for a living and how they come up with concepts in it.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So like on this model, you could have made fins on it like they had back when I was a kid, back in the 50s and 60s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or you could have rounded them, or any number of those types of things.
Yeah, I could have just completely made it a different car. I could have done the stuff I would have loved to do.
Well, fantastic. Very good. And we wish you all the luck as you go into MITES and take this model in for your competition.
I'm probably going to need it.
All right, great. Thanks, Zach. Now let's turn over to Emily now, and she's going to show us how she designs a house. So Emily, take it away.
All right, I am working in Chief Architect. I'm going to show you how to put a roof on, a deck, and some front doors. So,
okay.
All right, so.
And you came up with the dimensions on your own.
Oh yeah, you can. Yes, you can just, if you want to just make a roundhouse, you can make a roundhouse. You can. It's quite easy, and you can make it however you really want. Okay. So, you can put on a deck. And then, let's see, I made a list. And then in order to put the roof on, which usually you would do second, you have to build the deck first. So
oh, okay.
Let me go here.
And that's just to make sure you have the dimensions right, where the trusses go, all that kind of things that are important for a house?
Exactly. So you go here. Oh, just kidding. And in order to put a roof over, I found this out a couple days ago actually, in order to put a roof over the deck, you have to put a ceiling on it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, which you would.
So that dark gray then symbolizes the ceiling
Yes.
then, okay.
Okay, so then I put that on. And then I can, actually you can go into a view of it.
Oh, wow,
View
okay.
of the house. I put grass in earlier. So
Oh, okay, that's
looks
good.
a little bit better.
Nothing like a little landscaping to help.
Exactly, and you can, and then these are all of the things that you can put on your house. There's cabinets and everything that you can possibly put in a house, even more.
Okay, so you do both the interior as
Yes,
well as
yes,
the
it's not just an exterior, which the interior is my favorite part. So,
Sure, of course.
you can put doors on it, and you gotta go back here. Let me see. You can put, you don't have to put just the door that they give you. And in here in the library, there are so many different types of doors
Okay.
that you can.
So you can actually, rather than just creating like a blueprint of what the floor plan
Yes,
would
you
look
can
like,
you can
really
design the
actually
entire
design it.
thing. Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes. So then you can put windows in and certain things like that, and go back to the view. And it's real simple on the
Holy
outside.
cow.
And then I can go inside for you.
Now, you've done this all on computer. Have you ever tried to draw it out on paper like they used to do in the previous years?
I haven't gotten to that yet, but
okay.
that's part of my job sheets that we do. So.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, so here's the inside of the house. It's not much. You have to put, obviously, interior walls to break it up a little bit, but it's kind of basic. It looks just like a regular house, so it's kind of cool.
Like with Zach's program, he was able to, as he called it, print it out to a plastic. Can you do the same thing with this, or is this where you have to basically build those models by hand?
We haven't tried the 3D printer yet. I'm sure you probably could.
Okay.
But personally, I would like to build it by hand. It might seem easier to build it by hand.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
so that's that house. I just want to show you how you get the basics down.
Sure.
And I'm actually doing a house for mites right now also. This is my bigger house. And I did this off of a picture that I had found, and I'm really a fan of country houses, so this is kind of what I was going off of.
With the big porch and the...
Big wrap-around porch, and
Okay.
yep. And you can put furniture in, and they have so many different kinds, and you can change all the colors and plants and things like that. So
There it is.
this is
Fantastic.
this is my house.
Now for your mites competition, interior decorating, landscaping, it's all part of what is required for what you're going to be submitting, right?
Yes. We usually submit the outside of the house. I've seen some people do the insides, but I'm going to submit the outside of my house. So
Okay.
as soon as I get landscaping in there, it'll look a little bit.
And you're going to just be submitting the drawing or the
Yes.
the photo like that looks like is okay.
Yep, just like that. And then I can take you around it. Okay, so you can, what I do is I like a lot of colors, so I've changed all the walls and put all my own furniture in to make it look pretty. And you can put molding in, you can put lights in, you can pretty much do anything that you can in a regular house.
How detailed.
Yeah, it's really, really fun actually, and it gives you really good experience of how to do certain things. And here's my kitchen.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's really, really a good program.
Well, what a great learning opportunity, and I wish you well as you enter this house
thank
into
you.
the competition, and hopefully you'll come home with a blue ribbon as well.
I hope so. So.
Fantastic. Well, Emily, Zach, thank you so much for joining us on Technically Speaking. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a student who's been in the program before and tell us about how this experience here has worked for him in his career. So don't go away.